Verdict is as follows. In the Superior Court of Glynn County, State of Georgia, the State of Georgia versus Travis McMichael, case number CR000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. I'm going to ask that whoever just made an outburst be removed from the court, please. As to Gregory McMichael. In the Superior Court of Glynn County, the State of Georgia versus Greg McMichael, case number CR200433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty.
On the docket tonight, the federal case against those two defendants, Travis and Greg McMichael. There you saw them getting convicted in state court. That's life without parole, okay? They're done, life without parole. But there are federal hate crime charges. And in that case, they struck a deal with prosecutors late last night. Struck a deal that they would serve 30 years for that case and serve those 30 years in federal prison. Judge looked at it, rejected it. The family of Ahmaud Arbery was livid about that deal because the family wants him in state prison, not federal prison. So the judge threw out the plea deal. How unusual is all of this? Let's bring back in our think tank. Philip Dubé, I'll start with you. Are you shocked? They're both serving life in prison. They're never getting out. The only question, I guess, now is where are you going to do it and where are you going to do the next 30 years? And the judge wants to have a trial.
It's so disappointing that a judge compromised judicial independence for politics, because that's exactly what's going on here. This judge was not brave enough, seriously though, to succumb to justice. You have two people who have been sentenced to LWOP, basically, life without parole. What's the point other than the symbolic nature of getting a conviction, calling it a hate crime, when ultimately it boils down to whether or not these guys will ever see the light of day again? Benny, I've been practicing now for 25 years in state court, and I cannot tell you how many times over the years I've had clients also facing federal charges, and we wait for the federal case to resolve for jeopardy reasons so that they can get concurrent time in both cases. We wrap it all up, and sometimes the feds wait for us. I have one right now, an arson case, where as soon as he is sentenced on the arson, the state case is getting dismissed. This is how we operate for judicial economy's sake, because at the end of the day, it's the same set of facts, it's the same case. Granted, they are different crimes, but ultimately it's symbolic.
Al, your thoughts? How unusual to have a federal judge say, no, I'm rejecting the plea for these guys who are never getting out of prison because the family is upset, number one, that they'll be serving time in federal prison instead of state prison, and two, the judge saying, I don't want to be locked into the 30 years.
It's ludicrous as far as I'm concerned. I mean, and I have no mercy for these two people. Whatever they get, they deserve. And I guess that, they'd rather spend it in the federal prison rather than spending it in state prison, because I think maybe they think it's safer there or something along those lines. But for just the purposes of spending the money that the taxpayers are going to be paying to have a trial for no other reason than show is just outrageous. These individuals were pleading guilty. They were going to be doing time, 30 years in the federal, and then the rest of the time to be in the state prison. What's the purpose of delaying this? There is no justice being done. And my understanding was that the family initially agreed to this and then backed off at some point in time. And I don't understand why the prosecutor's office didn't have these people under control with regards to that, and then why the judge would not have taken the recommendation of the prosecutor. 99% of the time they do take the recommendation of the prosecutor, especially when it's a plea deal that's been worked out at the last minute. It made sense to me to do it.
Yeah.
It
And
was
the
a
bottom line,
smart
we're just
move.
showing the judge in court here. This is not the judge who rejected it. The judge is a federal judge, and you're not going to see her because there are no cameras in federal court. Before we run out of time, Teresa Jean-Pierre Coy, your thoughts tonight about the way this whole thing is playing out, where you've got a federal judge with two defendants who will never get out of prison rejecting a deal to resolve a case and instead moving forward to jury selection.
I agree with my colleagues. It is a waste of taxpayer money. At the end of the day, they're sentenced to life, in prison without parole. I mean, whether they serve it in federal court or state court really doesn't matter. They're going to be locked up. So I'm of the same opinion that, I mean, it's very rare for a judge to reject a negotiated plea form. And I also agree that, the family should have been brought on board if at the last minute to kind of talk to them about this and kind of get them on board and make them understand what's going on. So I agree with my colleagues.
Yeah, the family was blindsided by it. That's what they have publicly stated.